I want to talk to you about temporary buy downs and permanent buy downs because a lot of people don't realize that they have this option. A temporary buy down can reduce your interest rate for a short duration, where a permanent buy down will reduce the rate for the entire term of the loan. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you're quoted a certain rate and you want to get a lower rate, and you want that lower rate for, let's say it's a 30-year loan, you want that lower rate for 30 years. That's a permanent buy down. So you might end up paying what we call a point. A point means 1% of the loan amount. So if you pay a point in fee, you might be able to lower that interest rate by 1/4%. So just hypothetically, I'm not quoting a rate, but hypothetically, let's say the rate is 6.5. You pay a point, now your rate's 6.25, and it stays that way for the entire 30 years. Temporary buy down is a little more tricky, but it has been a tool that's been utilized since interest rates have gone up over the last couple of years. And the way that a temporary buy down works is the investor has to take the full payment at whatever the normal rate is. So let's say the rate's 6.5 as an example. Okay. Temporary buy down might allow you to make a payment based off of 5.5% instead of 6.5% for a 12-month period. And then at the end of the 12 months, the interest rate goes up to where it should be. In this hypothetical example, it would be 6.5. Okay. Then there's what's called the 2-1 buy down, where the interest rate is 2% lower than what the rate should be. So in this hypothetical, it's 4.5, and you pay 4.5% payment for 12 months. Then it goes up to 5.5%. You pay that for another 12 months, and then it finally rests at 6.5. Well, the investor who's doing the loan, they're not going to take less than what's due. They want their 6.5 payment for the entire time. So where does the money come from? Typically, with a temporary buy down, if you negotiate terms with the seller where the seller's willing to pay closing costs for you, then you may be able to earmark those concessions to pay for a temporary buy down. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that I want to go out and I want to go buy a home. And let's say that the interest rate's 6.5. And the seller says, hey, I'm going to give you concessions of $6,000. And I say, okay, well, I would prefer to have 5.5% payment for the first 12 months. Give me some payment relief because my wife is staying at home because we just had a baby, but within a year's time, she's going to be back to work, and we're going to have a lot more money coming in. So that would be a perfect scenario in this type of situation. So let's say that the difference between 5.5 and 6.5 is $300 a month. So what happens is the lender's going to collect 12 months of that difference, that $300. So they're going to collect $3,600, and the lender's going to put that into an escrow account. And then you make the lower payment. The lender takes the $300 shortage from the escrow account, they add it to your payment, and then they pay the investor the full amount. And that's how temporary buy downs work. If it's a 2-1 buy down, then the difference of the payment might be $600. In that case, they're going to collect $7,200. They're going to collect $600 every month. You're going to make the smaller payment at 4.5% in this example. Okay. They're going to take the $600 shortage, they're going to add it to your smaller payment, and they're going to pay the investor. After 12 months, then your payment's going to go up, but it's still $300 less than what it should be at 6.5. So now the lender's going to take $300 out of that escrow account. So actually, they would collect more than $7,200. It would be $7,200 for the first 12 months, and there would be another $3,600 for the next 12 months. So, around 10 grand basically, or a little bit more than that. But the lender's going to take that money and they're going to add it to your smaller payment to make sure the investor gets paid the full amount. That's a temporary buy down. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. You can leave comments in the section below. Have a great day.